All right, and hopefully you guys are all seeing my screen. Differences between DNA and RNA. This is where we left off yesterday. So yesterday, the story so far is that DNA is an instruction manual, but RNA is actually needed to build these proteins that are going to be the link between our genotype and our phenotype. So we are picking up where it says function of DNA. Slideshow. Oh, went too far. My bad. All right. So this is the function of RNA. It is letter B. 1, 2, 3, and 4. This is obviously just numbers 1 and 2. So, we said how DNA is the instruction manual, but RNA is the actual doer. So, our example that we gave yesterday is that if DNA is like a recipe card, RNA is the chef, right? So, DNA has all the instructions, but RNA actually has to do the work. Just like a chef, RNA has to go in and it has to read the DNA the way a chef would read um, the recipe card, and then the chef is gonna have to run around the kitchen and get all the ingredients. Just like the RNA is gonna have to find the correct ingredients to make the right protein, and then just like the chef has to put everything together, the RNA has to put everything together to make the right protein. Okay, so proteins are made by the ribosomes in the cytoplasm. We know this when we talked about parts of the cell. So the problem now is how do we get the instructions from the DNA, which is in the nucleus, and we know DNA never leaves the nucleus. How do we get those instructions out to these ribosomes? Because again, DNA is used to determine which proteins need to be made. Whether that is proteins to digest food, whether that is proteins to, like, serotonin to help you sleep better, whatever it is, all of that information is going to be in your DNA. Under letter B, this is numbers 3 and 4, I believe. All right. So, again, this is the function of RNA. If DNA has the instructions but never wants to leave the nucleus, our ribosomes are where we have to build proteins. There has to be a way to get that message out into the cytoplasm, out into the ribosomes. This is where RNA comes in. A gene on the DNA, maybe it's for lactase, maybe it is for the melatonin that colors your irises or your skin, whatever it is, right? That gene on the DNA molecule has to be copied. Okay? The copy is called RNA. The process of this copy, you can see right here, is called transcription. We call it replication if I'm making DNA into more DNA. I call it transcription if I am turning DNA into RNA. That copy that we just transcribed is now the set of instructions for a specific protein, a specific gene that is going to then get sent out into the cytoplasm, into the ribosomes to actually build the protein. The RNA can carry that message from the DNA in out of the nucleus into the cytoplasm into the ribosomes. So again, DNA never leaves the nucleus. But what we do see is that we see transcription happening. That is when we turn our DNA, a section of our DNA, not all the DNA, just a small section of a gene of the DNA gets turned into the RNA, and that RNA then leaves the nucleus, goes into the cytoplasm, finds the ribosome, and now is going to help build up some proteins. Where are we on time? You know what? That is cool. Then we'll just do like page 3 tomorrow. So we're going to go ahead and stop the video.